Welcome back. Today I'll be taking a look at the brand new Olight Javelot, and I will be doing a side-by-side comparison beam test to the Olight Javelot Mini. Let's check it out. This is everything the Olight Javelot comes with, so I'll give you a look at the box. On the back, typical lumens and runtime information. It comes with the USB Type A to MCC3 magnetic charging cable, a fairly decent nylon reinforced holster with a clip on the back. I like these type of holsters, so I'm happy with this. Safety warning information, and of course, the user manual. So let me put all this off to the side here, and I'll give you guys a nice close-up of the brand new Olight Javelot. And while you guys are checking this out, let's talk about some of the features. All right, so the Olight Javelot is a portable long-range flashlight that has a maximum output of 1,350 lumens, a max throwing distance of 730 meters, a max intensity of 134,000 candela, and a max runtime of 72 days. And what's powering the Javelot is a 3.6 volt, 5,000 milliamp hour, 21700 rechargeable lithium-ion battery that can be charged right through the magnetic tail switch with its included magnetic charging cable. It features 5 brightness levels and can be controlled with dual switches, a 2-stage tail switch and a metal side switch. The body is made from an aluminum alloy. It has a 1.5 meter impact resistance and is IP68. The 6 means it's completely dustproof, and the 8 means it's submersible in up to 6 feet of water. And is backed by a lifetime warranty if you live in Australia, France, Germany, or the USA. All right, let's talk dimensions. It has a length of 5.43 inches and a bezel diameter of 1.57 inches. And let's give it a quick weigh, and I'm gonna weigh it with the pocket clip on it. That is a removable pocket clip. It comes in at 7.3 ounces, and in grams, that's 206 grams. And I should say that I don't really know exactly what that emitter is. I can't find out any information on that emitter, but I do know it has a color temperature of 5700 to 6700 Kelvin, which is going to produce a cool white beam. But I have to say, I am loving the look of this strike bezel. Look at that. That is absolutely beautiful. If I show you from the side, it doesn't look too aggressive, but I love the looks of it dead on like that. And I pretty much mentioned everything other than this 2-way removable split ring pocket clip, and it's pretty much deep carry in this orientation. I have it in the lens down orientation. You can take it off, put it right here in this space right here and have a lens up orientation. But if you do that, you're gonna have about this much sticking above your pocket. So I prefer it this way. Also, it does have a boot up battery life indicator right there in the middle of that stainless steel side switch. If I click that on, you can see, yes, it is a boot up battery life indicator that does not turn off until you turn off the flashlight. Now let's go over the lumens and runtime. It has 5 brightness levels: moonlight, low, medium, high, and turbo. Moonlight is a half lumen, low is 15 lumens, medium, the sweet spot, is 150 lumens, high is 650 lumens and then has a step down to 250 lumens, and turbo is 1350 lumens and then steps down to 600 lumens. First off, I do like the fact that it has a half lumen moonlight that has a runtime for 72 days. I think that's fantastic. And now let's take a closer look at that sweet spot medium. 150 lumens, has a runtime of 30 hours, and has a throw of 200 meters. Next, let's jump to turbo. It has a 2-minute runtime at 1350 lumens, and then steps down to 600 for an additional 155 minutes. But turbo, of course, where we get the max 730 meters of throw and 134,000 candela. So it's going to have a pretty intense hotspot. If I just show you on the table right there, you probably can't even, there you go. You can probably see that intense hotspot right there with a very crispy perimeter. Now I'll take this outside shortly and do a better beam test for you. And like I said, I'm going to put it up against the Javelot Mini right here. The Javelot Mini is 1,000 lumens, has a throw of 600 meters, and is 88,320 candela. 2 brightness levels, low and high, and 5 brightness levels, what we just talked about. And I actually haven't tested this yet for myself, so when I take it outside and show you guys, this will be the first time I'm putting these two up head to head. And I'm definitely curious to see what these beam profiles look like side by side. Next, let's talk about the UI. Of course, it has a side switch and a 2-stage tail switch. A half press on the tail switch will take you to low, and a full press on the tail switch takes you to turbo. And it does support momentary and constant. So if you half press and hold, let it go, there's your momentary low. And if you full press and hold, let go, there's your momentary turbo. And of course, you either half press or full press and let go quickly. So there's your constant low and then your constant turbo. And the operation from the side switch is typical Olight, just a full press, let go, and it keeps the flashlight on. Then press and hold, low, medium, high, right there. There's your 3 cyclable brightness levels. Turn it off, press and hold from off. There's your half lumen moonlight mode. And then double click from off, there is your turbo. So I am a fan of this dual tail switch design, either holding it overhand and you have access to low and turbo, or underhand and then have access to all of your brightness levels. It does have a memory, so if I turn it on from the side switch and then go to low, medium right there, turn it off, turn it back on, goes right back to medium. But that memory doesn't support moonlight or turbo. And it does have a button press lockout. If you want to lock out this flashlight, press and hold that side switch past moonlight, turns off. And if you try to hit that button again, you get that red LED, you're locked out. And to unlock, just press and hold again. And there you go, unlocked. So like I said, very typical Olight UI, very simple, very easy to learn and use. So today I am skipping my not so scientific heat and turbo test and taking these guys right outside to do the beam test. I figured that's what most of you guys want to see anyway, so let's take this outside. So just for the heck of it, I'll start on moonlight, and you can actually see that hot spot right there, even on that half lumen moonlight. That's crazy. But let's go right to low. 15 lumen low, and yes, I am hitting that tree. Now you're going to see that yes, this is it's considered a long range thrower. So based on this beam here, you're going to see it has a very intense hotspot with that pretty well defined outer perimeter. Now, a lot of you aren't going to carry a flashlight like this on an everyday basis. It's not really considered an EDC flashlight. This is considered more for, I would say, hunters and any basic searching that you have to do, search and rescue, or just a basic searchlight, because that's what it's designed for. And this is a 15 lumen low. Let me just go right to medium. Much, much better. This is the sweet spot right here, I like to call it. 150 lumens here. I don't see any deer there. We would see eyes. There's a bunch of deer that live right there in those shrubs. But check this out. So easily hitting that barn. And as always, I'll put up the distance between me and that barn and me and that tree right there. But look at that beam. You can already see that lightsaber effect happening right there. Very, very cool. Let's go to high. Wow. And if I hold the camera still and just pan it back and forth, you get a better idea of that profile there. Like I said, a pretty well-defined outer perimeter there. And you can see just how smooth that light is. Very, very even from the outer perimeter all the way to that hot spot, and that pretty intense hot spot right there. Even hitting those trees back there. Check that out. And now let's go to turbo. I'll double click. Boom, 1350 lumens. And this is the maximum 730 meters of throw. Wow. So hopefully this gives you guys a pretty good idea of what this beam looks like if you bought this because you needed a searchlight, or sorry, a portable searchlight, such as the Javelot here. Now, let me turn that off, and I'm going to go right to the Mini Javelot, and there's only 2 levels here. So this is low on the Mini Javelot, 200 lumens, and I'm already seeing a difference between that beam right there. You see that? I'm not sure if you guys remember what the other one looks like, but there's a big difference between that, what I like to call that lightsaber effect, that actual beam that you can see. And now let's go to high. Very nice. So the perimeter seems to be about the same from this distance. If I'm pointing it right there at the ground, it seems to be pretty much the same, but I have to double check the Javelot and check out that hotspot. I think the hotspot on the Mini Javelot is just a little bit bigger, a little bit wider. So if I put it right there, actually, let me go back to the barn there. You can see a lot of that barn from here. It's hitting it. Now let's go to the, sorry, I got to put everything down here. One-handed. Let me go to the, I don't know. I think the size is about the same, but I think the Mini Javelot just has a little bit more of a well-defined hotspot. So if I hold it right here, and I'm going to freeze frame that, and now the Mini Javelot right there, and I'll freeze frame that. I'm looking at the camera, and it looks a little bit different from what I'm seeing with my eye, but not too far off. I think the Mini Javelot has a more well-defined hotspot, but not as intense. All right, guys, I'm gonna walk over to my side yard. Let's go. So what do you guys think of the beam profile here in the brand new Olight Javelot versus the Mini Javelot? Honestly, they're very similar in profile. The Mini Javelot had a crispier hotspot, but not as intense, obviously, as the Javelot here. 134,000 candela versus 88,320. And of course, to my eyes, the Javelot had a better throwing distance than the Mini Javelot, and it should at 730 meters on paper versus 600. So there's a few things to consider going with either one of these flashlights. And one of the main things here is the size difference. If I show it to you side by side like this, the Javelot is a good 1 inch taller than the Javelot Mini. A 21700 versus an 18650, 5 brightness levels versus 2. And the Javelot is going to be a little bit pricier because, yeah, it does have better performance than the Javelot Mini. And speaking of that price, you can pick up the new Olight Javelot on sale for its brand new St. Patrick's Day sale, which is going on right now because I'm going to release this video when the St. Patrick's Day sale starts. And my representative at Olight mentioned to me that Olight is starting something called Olight memberships. Apparently, it's an exclusive membership that gives you membership prices at no extra cost. I don't know a ton about it, but I just wanted to mention it to you guys if you're interested so you can save yourself a little bit of money during this sale. But if you're interested in the Javelot, I would definitely pick it up during this sale because Olight's not having as many sales this year as they were doing last year. So if you're interested in the Javelot here, I'll put all that information down below along with all the sale information and the information for the memberships. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. What do you think of the brand new Olight Javelot? Of course, if you want to check this out for yourself, I'll have all that information down below in my description box. But if you did enjoy this video, please give me that thumbs up. Please subscribe. And go!